it was unbelievable how much we sold. We got wiped out of inventory. We're buying cards. We're putting it back in our showcase to sell again. We did actually more sales at this show than we did at the National last year.
We are live from one of the best card shows we've been to all year. We are here at Fanatics Fest in New York City, and we've got a special guest, not just any guest, the biggest name in the sports card industry today, the man, the myth, the legend, Geoff Wilson.
What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, my friend?
Hey, I'm pleased to be on this podcast, man. You've been doing so well with it. I've been seeing the clips everywhere, so I'm excited to get my chance. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, a lot of big names here.
Yeah, people walking around. There's Darren Rovell waving to us right there.
Crazy.
There's been athletes in the I saw Wemby walk right by here the other day.
He was right here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
We got to do a deal with A-Rod at the Cards HQ booth. This has been wild, just absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with that then, because you and I were both at the last one.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Not as great as you might have hoped.
The first Fanatics Fest last year. Right.
Maybe a little more underwhelming. Kind of. Fanatics is learning, right?
Yeah.
Trying to understand what to do, how to make this epic. This is crazy.
The leap that has been made between the first Fanatics Fest last year and this Fanatics Fest this year was monumental. It really was. This event was so much better orchestrated. It was a lot bigger, first of all, just bigger, more stuff going on. But the last one, I mean, you could tell they were like kind of figuring it out as they went.
For sure.
It's a little rough around the edges. The experience wasn't incredible, and the energy was good, but it was never like, it never
100%.
felt like next level. This year, everything feels next level. The energy is unbelievable. I mean, yesterday, the Saturday, it was full-scale, national level crazy. I mean, you don't see it other than the National at that level, and that was definitely that yesterday. It's been a wild event, and I'm so happy with how it's gone this year, because to me, this is proof that this type of event works. And I know Fanatics has to be thrilled with this, and they have to be thinking to themselves, oh great, we're gonna, this is now an annual tradition, which is great for the hobby.
Yeah, so many things to take away there. The first thing for sure is it's the closest we've ever felt to the National, outside of the National. 12-hour day, we were here at 7:30, left at 7:30, all day long, packed. It wasn't like slow, it was elbow to elbow. Every showcase had somebody around it, non-stop dealing, and then Wemby walks by, and Tom Brady walks by.
And those are the experiences you don't get at the National.
Or anywhere.
Or anywhere. That's the interesting thing about this event. There's so much more to it than just the card show too. All the fan experiences. The kids here really seem to be having a great time, because they can not only do the card bit, but then they can go kick soccer balls or throw footballs. And a lot of them are getting these athlete interactions. They're pulling kids in to meet Joe Burrow, to meet Jaden Daniels, like all this stuff, which of course is, making their dreams come true.
And I think Fanatics has done a really good job of merging cards, sports, and culture, right? Because the National is so great for cards. It's the event for cards. It is the Super Bowl for sports cards. This has Kai Cenat and LeBron James and Sports Card Investor in the same building. So you've got sports fans coming in looking to grab a Karl Anthony Towns or Jalen Brunson card with these kids with their jerseys on, and they can meet Kai Cenat, one of the biggest streamers in the entire world. And then Wemby walks by and buys a card at a booth like everybody else. This is unprecedented, and it's, like you said, I think this is a must-go-to event right now.
It is a must-go-to event. I totally agree. Fanatics Fest 3 next year. I mean, you got to assume they're going to build on this and make it even better. And so it is absolutely on up there with the National as must-do. And I think people want to compare the two. I think they're different events, and we shouldn't compare them, honestly. I think the National is the Super Bowl for cards and collecting specifically, and that's what it is. And it's going to have more inventory than this show ever will, but this show brings so much new and different to the table and great to the table. I think both events coexist. I do think this show probably puts some pressure on the National to step up their experience in some areas, but I don't think the National should attempt to run out and all of a sudden like start doing, you know, fan experience stuff. I don't think they should attempt to do that. In my opinion, the National should lean into what they're best at, which is a massive, incredible, unprecedented card show. Let Fanatics Fest own the fan experience, and I think that both coexist really well, and now you've got 2 Super Bowls for the hobby that happen every single year.
As we sit here right now, if you had to point to one, maybe 2 things to say, this is what happened and why it went from good to great, what do you think would be the thing you highlight as, this is what made this show special?
It was, I would just say in general, it was a lot more dialed in this year. It just felt a lot more put together. First of all, it's quite a bit bigger, right? It's 40% bigger than the show was last year, and you feel that. It feels more expansive. They have a lot more exhibits. They have a lot more displays. There's a lot more cards on display, even outside of the dealer booth area. You've got Dick showing their Paul Skeens 1 of 1. You got the whole museum that Fanatics Collect put together with like $200 million worth of cards and you know, memorabilia. So you got that stuff. You got more stuff to see. And the crowd, you know, because you got more stuff to do too, the crowd's kind of dispersed into a bunch of different areas. So, but just, I think the way that it's just being run and orchestrated, it just seems like the schedule of everything going on, the games, the panels, all that kind of stuff, and just the flow is a lot better. The dealer tables this year, the card show portion, feels a lot more integrated with the rest of the experience.
And Lance, I know we both talked to Lance. Lance, the CEO of Fanatics Events, had said they were that was a focal point for them. Was trying to integrate the cards into the show, not just kind of hide them in the back like it was last year. I think that was huge.
It made a big difference. Traffic to the card show side was a lot better.
For sure.
And last year it almost felt like 2 separate shows.
100%.
Experiences on one side, card show on the other.
For sure.
This year, it felt much more intertwined, and it was a good thing for everybody.
I think
I feel like you're about to make a really big, bold statement
here. Big, bold statement.
All right, let's get this really big, bold statement.
I think Fanatics Fest is one of the biggest ways for Topps to 10x the hobby. I think we sold a lot of cards to people that have never bought cards before. I think a lot of people come here, wrestlers, especially wrestling. I said it last time, I'll say it again. That is by far the most energetic fan base in the show. We're 50 yards away from the walkout entrance, and it has been loud all weekend. But I think this is an entry point into the hobby for a lot of people. With the way it is integrated in the show, there are a lot of kids walking around just kind of browsing that are like, oh, cool, I like Rhea Ripley. You have a Rhea Ripley card. I'd love to buy that. We have sold a lot of cards to people that have never bought cards before, and I think this is a really big time event to start getting more people into the hobby.
It's huge. I totally agree. When Fanatics said a few years ago that they wanted to 10x the number of collectors, there were a lot of people that laughed at them. A lot of people on social media said, never going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. I think people like, don't bet against Fanatics. Don't bet against Topps. It's coming together. And if they do, and I don't know what their plans are, but if they, in the future, bring Fanatics Fest to other cities, there was obviously rumors last year about a Fanatics Fest LA.
West Coast.
If they do that, if you get Fanatics Fest LA, if you get Fanatics Fest New York, if you get Fanatics Fest London, and if they're all happening every single year, that's a path to 10xing this thing, 100%.
For sure. Now the show's obviously been amazing. Fanatics Fest 3, New York City next year. What could they do to make it even better?
Wow. Man, I don't know. You know, what I will say from my perspective,
Yep.
there was so much happening around the show that I felt like I didn't even know about. Like, I'm catching up at nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on social media
Yep.
about things that happened, and I'm like, oh, that happened? That happened? That happened? Now, of course, with the show this size, like, how do you even, like, communicate that? But, like, there was things that I missed that I would like to have seen.
Sure.
I don't know how that can be brought a little more to the forefront, but, like, I would have loved to have gone and seen Joe Burrow progressing through the Fanatics games or stuff like that. But I didn't even know when his group was going. I didn't even know where. I've just seen clips of it on social late at night. Or I didn't even know that, you know, Wemby was going to be in the aisle there buying cards until I just saw a crush of people and I was forever away. Now, maybe some of that stuff they just can't announce because it would bring too many people and it has to be spur of the moment stuff. But I would love to just know a little more. And maybe some of that stuff is out there. Maybe it's on the website and I just didn't see it. I don't even know. It's such a thing, right? I don't know. I mean, they could probably even add another day to it and, you know, just add more of that type of experience stuff to go along with it. Obviously, the National's 5 days long. I wouldn't be mad to see Fanatics Fest do like a Thursday preview night.
Yeah.
Their trade night last night I thought was really successful. Maybe they do another one of those. Maybe they just kind of balled a little more onto the event as we go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you from my perspective, next year, Cards HQ, we got to have more of a presence.
Yeah.
You guys at least got a couple of dealer tables here, right?
Yeah, we got 2 booths.
Yeah, we only got a single booth,
Yep.
which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Now that I see this, and I'm like, wow, like, we got to do more dealer booths, bigger thing, you know, whatever. Of course, I'm sure everyone's going to be fighting for that next year.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point because there's not that many dealer booths compared to the National.
Right.
Right, and this place is packed. So without separating the dealer booths and the experiences like you did in the first one, you obviously want to keep them intertwined. It works well, and I'm sure most dealers would tell you that. It feels like if you got in early and you're renewing, you're in a pretty good spot to continue to grow alongside this. Because if the leap from 1 to 2 looks like this, 2 to 3 could be crazy.
Yeah.
And if you're in the show like this and you've got multiple booths or at least a spot on the floor, feels like you're going to be in a pretty good spot going forward.
Look, I think next year is going to be crazy, even way crazier for 2 reasons. So first of all, I talked to so many fans who have been here who have had a great time.
Yeah.
So I think next year you're naturally going to have a lot of the same people coming back, plus new people hearing about it, seeing all the social media about it. So I'm guessing they're going to sell a lot more tickets next year than they did this year. So the place is even going to be more packed and more crazy. Then on top of that, let's not forget, Topps, by the time Fanatics Fest comes around next year, Topps is going to have the basketball card license and the football card license.
Yep.
They don't have either right now.
Yep.
They've only got baseball. And, you know, some of the auxiliary, they got some soccer, they got WWE, UFC, that kind of stuff. But of the 3 major U.S. sports, they've only got 1 of the 3.
Yep. Next
year, they'll have 3 of the 3. That's going to be insane. I don't even know what more that's going to mean, but I know it's going to mean more.
Yep. Yeah, sitting here next year ripping Topps Chrome exclusive Fanatics Fest football.
Yeah.
Potentially live on the show floor. That could be crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts. The exclusive drops that they're doing, right?
Yep, 3 of them.
So this year they did an exclusive. They did 2 baseball ones. They did the Travis Scott box, and then they did a special edition of Topps Series 2 Fanatics Fest, and then they did the F1.
Yep.
And by the way, all 3 flipping like crazy on the secondary market.
Oh yeah.
You could pay for your entire show, your travel to the show, your hotel, your badge, simply by buying each of those 3 boxes on pre-sale, showing up, picking your 3 boxes up, and then going and selling them to a dealer on the show floor.
Yep.
You pay for the entire thing. Next year, I assume they're going to, in addition to stuff like that, they're going to have probably a football exclusive and a basketball exclusive.
Yep.
Those are going to go insane.
Yep.
Now, maybe next year they're harder to get. I don't know. Maybe now everyone's going to be clued in, like, I got to pre-register and get these boxes. Maybe it's going to be hard to get.
See, that's one thing I would love to see them do. The National is really good for the exclusive packs.
Yeah.
The silver packs from Topps, Panini. Obviously, this is a Topps exclusive. but I would love to see silver packs available, where we could buy Topps product on the show floor and get those exclusive 2 or 3 card packs and do more volume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They do really well at the National. I don't know how feasible that is with the National being 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away, but I thought that would be a really cool thing. You made a point earlier I want to go back to. You mentioned about everybody seeing this. I heard tickets were sold out at one point yesterday. I got texts from half a dozen people saying, are you at Fanatics Fest? This looks crazy. I saw LeBron, I saw Logan Paul, I saw, you know, you're getting it from people outside of the card world. I think I underestimated how many impressions this event creates in the world. Topps obviously does a great job with their relationships with the athletes, but this is major for the sports card industry. It's obviously good for culture and sports in general, but Livy Dunn live from Fanatics Fest. LeBron posted and collabed with Fanatics Fest. Those things are great for the hobby. This is now a can't miss event.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a can't miss event. I totally agree with you. I mean, one thing that Fanatics does unbelievably well is marketing.
Yeah.
Social, PR, media buzz, they are so good at it, and you see it. And it's because this is dominating social right now. It's being talked about on ESPN. It's being talked about by a whole bunch of different news networks. And your friends are seeing it because they're seeing these clips that are going viral, that LeBron's posting, that Livy Dunn's posting, you know? And people are like, whoa, like what's this whole thing about? It's wild and it's great. And you know, it's only gonna just grow the entire thing.
As you sit here right now, this will wrap up here in a little bit. What are kind of your 2 or 3 big time moments from Fanatics Fest from the weekend?
Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, what I'm going to remember with it, so a couple things. I mean, first of all, having A-Rod come by the booth was cool. You know, we got to do, he picked up a couple of cards from the booth, so we got that athlete interaction bit. That was super cool. My son Reeves came with me to the show. That was a lot of fun. Honestly, like, this is a really cool show to come to as well, because it's in the heart of New York City.
Yeah.
It's you're a mile from Times Square.
Yep.
You're right in the mix of it in Manhattan.
Yep.
And so that makes this a special show too.
Yep.
You come here, you get to stay in the city, you get to, at nighttime, like, you know, walk through Times Square, do whatever you want to do, go up to Rockefeller Center, like, go to Central Park if you want to experience, you can even go catch a, you know, Broadway show at nighttime or something if you wanted to.
Yep.
It's like it's a cool place for a card show to be, you know? Like a lot of card shows, there's not a lot to do around them.
Yep.
The show's the focus. And here, the show's a big element, but you're also in the city. So man, have fun for a couple of days. So getting to bring Reeves, getting to have that experience with him, you know, that's been super cool as well. And then I'd say just the third thing is just seeing all the kids. I mean, you get it, obviously. Your brand's huge on YouTube. You got a huge kid brand, brand with kids, with all the trade nights you do, everything like that. And a lot of kids at the show, a lot of families at the show, a lot of kids coming up and just enjoying the experience. And so seeing the families, the kids, that's super cool.
Yeah, I would echo a lot of that. I mean, a lot of kids at this event having an incredible time. I mean, it was just surreal, just meeting so many people, just an A-plus event. The one thing I would add to this is I got to give some props to Josh Rothcards.
Oh my gosh, that moment. That was a huge moment, yeah.
You talk about a marketing for the hobby. The Commanders owner, I mean, now the second time we're going to get a big time card displayed in a public setting, right? It's going to be available for show in the new stadium they're building in Washington. What a cool moment, right?
Oh, $500,000 purchase at trade night last night.
Yep.
That was unbelievable. Yep. It was so funny too because I was standing in line to get into trade night. Rothcards, Josh, was next to me in line. And he's like, dude, he's like, we're talking. He's like, dude, he's like, Jaden Daniels is in there. And he's like, man, I really want to be able to show him the 101. He's got the Black Finite Prism 101, one of the biggest Jaden Daniel cards in existence.
Yep.
And he's like, I really want to be able to show it to him and get a photo with him. And I'm like, dude, I so hope that happens. That's amazing. You got to go up there and, whatever. So then we walk in, and then, like, basically right when we walk in, just by happenstance, they're up there on stage going, who's got the biggest Jaden Daniels card in the room? That literally happened like within a couple minutes of Roth walking into the room. It was totally unplanned too. It was like totally unscripted. And then Roth's like, dude, I do. He runs up front. The whole deal happens. He sells the card for $500,000. Unbelievable. What a great moment. Yeah. It's gone viral on social. Yep. It's getting a ton of publicity. And yeah, it's a great moment for the hobby. It's a great moment to see that kind of money being spent on a card. Yep. And then to have that card, it's like the Paul Skeens, as you said. Yep. Now this one's on display. That's, this is all really good stuff. Like really, really good stuff.
Yep. This goes back to that marketing around the event. You know, Topps does a good job. They market it a lot, but they also make moments like these happen, right? Michael Rubin involved in that transaction. Mike Mahan's on stage. It happens, and then it just, everybody's talking about it. It's just a machine, and I think Fanatics has done a really good job, and I thought that was a really big moment from Fanatics Fest.
Yeah.
Now, I talked to Ryan a little bit earlier. As you walk away here, how was it for you guys as a company, Cards HQ specifically?
Yeah, we did great at this show. So like our we came both to sell and buy. We do a lot of buying, but we bring some cards to sell, a couple showcases. It was unbelievable how much we sold. We got wiped out of inventory. We're buying cards. We're putting it back in our showcase to sell again. We did actually more sales at this show than we did at the National last year, which is unbelievable to think about. Now, in fairness, we at the National, we were selling a few showcases. It wasn't like we had a giant setup to sell at the National. We were more buying at the National, but nonetheless, the idea that we could sell the type of, six figures, multiple six figures in sales volume that we did at the show, I wasn't expecting it. Ryan wasn't expecting it. We were surprised that we were doing that type of sales volume here. And it's wonderful. Next year, we will be prepared for that. Yeah. Next year, we'll bring a lot more inventory. We'll have a lot bigger display of cards. And we're going to treat it like a really great sales opportunity as well as a great buying opportunity.
Yeah. I would have to double check our numbers. We haven't done it all yet, but I'm going to say at this point, it's probably the best show we've ever done.
Yeah.
Again, yesterday was a really good day. I know we talked about that a little bit before. Yesterday was insane, but Friday was really good. The point you made earlier about potentially having this as a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday event really seems like it could be an opportunity because it was nonstop. Again, great selling and great buying, and I think that was what was really cool. So, big event for you guys at this show. The Nationals coming up very, very soon.
Nationals not far away, man. Gosh. Right. I mean, these back-to-back like this is also kind of insane, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, what are we, 5 weeks away from the National now, something like that?
Basically. It'll be this week. We'll be 5 weeks.
Wow, it's amazing.
So as you look ahead, you've got to go back, reset, and get ready for the biggest card event of the year. What's kind of next for you guys as a team, as a company, as we get near the end of the summer or later in the year?
Yeah, so in addition to preparing for the National, we're also starting to prepare to open up a second Cards HQ. Yeah, we're super excited about it. We haven't finalized exactly where yet.
Okay.
We're looking from Texas over to Florida, on up a little bit. This kind of corner of the country of where we are in Atlanta, right?
Okay.
But it's not going to be in Atlanta. It's going to be in another major city.
Okay.
And we're going to open up multiple, but we're trying to figure out number 2 next. We're looking around. We've found some really good possible spots. We're talking and we're trying to get some real estate stuff finalized. So I think soon we'll have know exactly where we're going, what we're doing, and then we got to work on the build out and get the whole thing ready. So it will be next year that it actually opens, right? Because this stuff takes time to build the store out and do it. But the groundwork is very much underway. And we're really excited. We want to continue to grow Cards HQ, open up in major cities across the US eventually. Yep. And so it's a lot. It's a lot to do that. It's a lot of work, and my team's incredible and really great, but we're working hard on that. Then of course, naturally, continuing to ramp up the content. We've actually started, we haven't made a lot of big deal about it because it's still in its early stages. You probably don't even know this. We launched our first TCG YouTube channel.
Wow.
Totally dedicated. It's called TCG HQ.
Wow.
We launched it about a month ago, a little over a month ago. I think we got 5 videos out on it so far. We're going to eventually launch 2 TCG channels. One's going to be all about TCG gameplay, which is what TCG HQ is. Then we're going to launch a Pokemon channel that's going to be about more about buying, selling, trading, Pokemon, collecting. So a little bit of a different vibe. But yeah, we're getting heavy into the content space there. Now that's not me, because that's not my forte. That's other team members. But we pulled in some of our crew from Cards HQ that's big into TCG gameplay. And we're producing some really high quality videos. So I'd love anyone out there who's interested or plays any TCG. I'd love for you guys to check out TCG HQ on YouTube because we're really trying hard to put out the best quality videos about TCG gameplay out there.
Yeah, I mean, your video qualities for sports cards are obviously the best, so I can only imagine that those are going to be amazing, but it definitely sounds like you guys have a lot of free time.
Yeah. A lot of free time. A lot of downtime right now. Right.
Super slow.
Yeah.
Last thing. This is a great event for cards.
Yeah.
As we are 5 weeks away from the Super Bowl of cards, what have you learned from this one that you'll take back to the team, that you'll implement or use to have the best national possible?
Great. Yeah, so we need a process where when we're buying, so we're obviously selling cards. We got them all stickered, it goes through our Shopify, our inventory system, the whole thing. Then we're also buying cards. We need a process where when we are buying those cards, we need to have a team like in a back room here that can immediately inventory process those cards, put them into our database, sticker them, and then bring them back out to sell them.
Turnover.
Turnover. So we didn't have that really set up here. We've been doing a little bit of it kind of as on the fly as we have a moment, but we weren't ready for the volume. At the National, we need to be ready for that. We need to have our buying center, and we need to be buying things, taking them to the back, immediately inventorying, immediately stickering, and they need to immediately go out and showcase this to sell, so that we've constantly got fresh inventory that we're turning over. People can come in and see all of that. So that's the improvement that I think I'm going to take back that we'll implement for the National.
Yeah.
How about yourself? Anything that stands out to you?
Yeah, I would echo the same thing for sure. There's a lot of opportunity to buy at the show, but we've sold so much. And we bought a lot of the right things. Like we learned last time, the local stuff sells really well in New York. We've sold a lot of Brunson, Judge, Jeter, a lot of those guys. So we had a lot of it. But as we bought more of it, we couldn't get it out fast enough. We were so busy, we didn't have anyone dedicated to getting fresh inventory out. So oftentimes you had like holes. So it's like if you don't bring enough inventory, and it's like hard to travel with 10 people, especially on planes. So it's like if you're not driving, you've got to have enough space to take back what you buy and enough space to bring what you're going to sell. Right? So it's that perfect balance. And we didn't have anyone designated to get fresh inventory out. Right. So it's like as we bought things, there was often a delay. That can't happen at the National. This is our first time ever in a dedicated booth at the National. We will have a National booth to sell and a corporate space. Okay. So it's going to be how do we buy, sell, and turn over that inventory? I would echo the same exact thing. Yeah. So working on those kind of back of house logistics and how you're going to get that done, that's the same boat we're in. Well, also being the busiest week of the year, the biggest event with, you're taking, I think 20 plus people. Yeah. We have double digits. We got a big crew. A big crew that's going there. So we're treating it like the Super Bowl, and it's going to be, and I think we'll do really well there. And then next time we got to treat this like the Super Bowl too, because this is now that. This is now that, and we've seen it this year. For sure. Yeah. Well, exciting times ahead. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you're busy, but I really appreciate you coming on here, and I'm sure the listeners enjoyed it as well. Congrats, man. Congrats with the podcast and all your success, for sure. Thank you. That's all I got for now, guys.